back with another live, another podcast. You already know what it is. So, yeah, make sure you guys follow the official Instagram page. That's linked down below. What else? Yeah, before we start, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right into it. So today, here with special guest kudzani.
Yes, sir.
I thought I was gonna mess that up.
No, you did it good. No, you straight. You straight. Appreciate you. Thanks for having me on, bro.
Yeah, man. Always, always. So tell us, like who you are and like what you do and all that good stuff.
Okay, so my name is Kudzani.
Kudzani.
Binge. I'm from Zimbabwe. Grew up in Montreal for the longest time of my life. Played hockey. I still do, but my main sport is football now. I'm in school. I'm in psychology.
Okay.
And yeah, that's pretty much what I do. So yeah.
Okay. And you have it's like a mental health brand?
Yeah, mental health
Okay.
brand. So I have a mental health brand. It's called Internal Keeper. You can see it on my shirt here. This is the logo. I started this in 2020. I've always wanted to start a brand growing up as a kid. I just didn't know what it was.
Right.
However, yeah, in 2019, from the beginning to the end of 2019, I suffered from depression. I had a lot of things going on during that time, and I've hit rock bottom. So then the pandemic came around, and I seen that a lot of people were going through what I went through. So I thought it was the perfect time to kind of make a brand, a platform, to just spread love and positivity for people to feel safe and loved. And because during the pandemic, a lot of people, or just prior to that, and still now, people just face tough battles and everything. So that's what I created, and then so I've been going since 2020, just sharing messages, quotes, inspirational videos, different projects that I've done as well in the past. So so that's pretty much what it's about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward. Let's rewind back. So you said you've always wanted to start a brand since you was like a kid and all that. So like, what inspired that? Like, what is it about? Like, were you just really into like? Is it just clothing, or just having like, or you were just into like a movement type thing? Like, what was the?
I was
curiosity.
I think for me it was more of a movement.
Okay.
So like people that know me, whether it's like within this like football, hockey, or just day-to-day life, they know, mainly football, they know like I'm energetic person, positive person, and like just bring the energy, brighten someone's day. Okay. So I've always wanted to do.
You always the hype man of the team.
Yeah, exactly. So I've always wanted to, or even not even just hype man as well too, but just like when I go into the locker room, like every day without fail, even if I had a bad day, I'd go dab up every single person in the room, and then if there's missing teammates that would come later, I'd go up to them and just to show my presence. I always feel myself as a leader, so that's something that I've always wanted to do. So it's mainly a movement, never a clothing aspect of it. But yeah, just like a movement kind of thing, and then the clothing will come after. But that was never and would never be my primary thing. It's just to like support the movement kind of thing.
So movement first, clothing brand second.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's fast forward a little bit. You get older a little bit. You said you struggled with like depression and stuff like that.
Yes.
So like did that lead you to starting this movement? Like tell us more about like how like.
So it led me to start this movement.
Okay.
The whole me wanting to have a brand, a movement prior to like my experience with depression was like almost the same as what I have now, but maybe just.
Oh, like your motivation was different back then than now?
Yes, it was different back then. I just wanted more something like, inspirational, yes, but kind of just something more like outgoing, kind of like, like if you look at like Instagram, like comedians and all that stuff, kind of around that. That
was your inspiration then?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So then when I went through my experience, it kind of shifted, but not like too much, because I'm still doing the same thing in like hyping up, trying to hype up people, trying to be positive and kind of have that like love and support and positivity, right? But just not as much as like it being that prominent in like kind of like flamboyant kind of energetic in that sense.
So was this, so like in the beginning, it was more like, how do I say it? You would say like comedic in a way, no?
Probably comedic.
Comedic?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I wanted
Was
to
this
be more
before like times are hard, or was this kind of like
before when
okay.
I just started a clothing brand, like
Right,
you know
right.
what I mean, more comedic. But then when I had this experience, I was just like, damn, okay, I think this is the proper route for me
the
to
proper route to
kind of
reroute? Okay.
Yeah.
So this was back in 2018, 2017?
2017, 2018, that's when the comedic,
Right,
you know,
right,
I
right.
wanted to bring that. And then when I had my experience, like in
Mhm.
2019, and then finally launched my brand in 2020, it was, I kind of had to like restructure it,
Restructure.
which I'm really happy about because
Mm.
I think this is where I'm supposed to be rather than comedic, you know what I mean? Just more positive and, you know.
So were you making
supportive.
clothing during this, like the first phase of the?
No.
Oh, okay. It was just kind of like we're just doing this thing, kind of.
So when I first started, if you go back, you can go on my reels. You can see like every Wednesday
Mhm.
there would be a motivational topic, and I'll talk
Right.
about it like in a little short video.
Okay.
And then I did that for a year,
Mm-hmm.
a couple months, and then someone gave me the idea of like, yo, I want like clothing out of this, like
Mhm.
a T-shirt or something like that. But I was just like kept on postponing it
Right, right.
until one day I was just like, okay, you know, let me just do that.
Mm.
And like the turnaround was like crazy. Like my first day, like the first launch, I had a tons of people just
Mhm.
buy, like people that I didn't even know as well too. So it was pretty nice to see. So yeah. So first, even today, it's just about like the clothing brand second,
Mhm.
and then the movement first.
It
So
was
that-
always movement first.
always movement first. I think it would always be movement first. You know what I mean? Just making sure, like, you know, people feel safe. And because at the end of the day, like, you know, the clothing is always good to have there.
Yeah.
But, like, say not a lot of people can afford that or pay for that. But they know that they can go somewhere for free, which is like Instagram, social
Yeah.
media, to kind of lean on and kind of, you know,
Right.
brighten their day. Yeah.
So like with all that being said, like so fast forwarding a little bit more,
hmm
after you had like your experience with like depression, all that stuff, was this during the COVID time or was this kind of like a little bit before and?
No, this was before COVID. So like literally, I will never forget this day. It was in May or in June of 2019. June of 2019 until the end. Maybe like a little bit into the new year of 2020. But yeah, so that whole phase. That's during my football season as well too. Like I was feeling down and like, you know, but I still had to go out there and perform and everything like that. So yeah, it was so it was June 2019 until I would say right before I started my brand, maybe April-ish of 2020. Yeah.
April-ish of 2020. Okay, interesting. And so that whole experience, it inspired you to start the brand?
Yeah,
Okay.
100%. Yeah, because
Well, like to start like making it like reroute basically.
yeah, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It inspired me to reroute because like, you know, I never want to see someone else go through a situation that I've been through, or you know, I don't feel comfortable seeing someone like say suffering or also, you know, homeless person not being able to eat or something like that, and I am. So I just wanted to create a platform for people to feel safe, but that experience is what led me to do that as well too.
Okay. So do you have like, is it just you in the brand, or is it just like you have like a team of people, or is it just like right now just?
It's just me right now.
Okay.
It's just me, but I do have people that I work with.
Okay.
That if like, you know, for my logo, I go to one person. I have a person for that, or if it's marketing, or just not marketing, but like not marketing as such, because I do the marketing and everything, but just, you know, like little work around the marketing. I have someone for that and all that other stuff. So yeah, but it's me alone in the brand, and I think I want it to be like that because for something like a mental health brand, you know, it's hard to, you know, kind of have someone join in, or you know, because
You want people on the same kind of like mindset.
You know what I mean, and like, and I do understand it's a hard you know, brand to run, or
Right.
kind of like the mental health topic. You know, not a lot of people are comfortable talking about that. So you know, for something like that, for me, like I prefer to do it alone because I know like my experiences and like the truth behind everything. You know what I mean? So I think it's easier to kind of do it alone, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And it's not like a, you know, kind of putting a poker face and everything like that.
Yeah.
It takes a lot, you know, so yeah.
So like, would you say like once, like say like, you know, when you grow, when you get bigger, are you thinking about bringing more people on? Was like as the movement gets bigger, or are you really trying to focus it on like at least like just you yourself, or like, are you gonna have like a core five, or is it just gonna be straight up like just you alone type thing?
I think eventually, as I grow bigger,
Yeah.
you know, I'm gonna have people to work with. You
Yeah.
know, I work with people. Like I said, maybe my team will expand in, you know, say like I have a guy for the logo, I have a guy for the marketing. I'll also maybe have different people that have their own thing, but we work together. So collab. So it'll probably be more collab stuff rather than partnership or kind of bringing someone on, right? So I'd rather have it that way than to immerse and have someone in, you know, in my brand like that. If that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Cause I see what you're saying though. Cause like you kind of want it like, cause it's like something personal to you.
Yeah.
So you want it to be like, you want people. If you were to bring people on, you'd want them to have the same mindset.
Yeah.
Type thing, and it's just like, I guess everybody kind of has different views on the topic of mental health. So you kind of want like,
Yeah.
like, it makes sense, like, cause like
Yeah.
it's something personal to you, like.
Exactly. I don't want this to be a business. You know what I mean? Like I don't view this like my brand as a business. Like although like people may call it as a business, I just find this as just something like just like free help. You know what I mean? Like a platform to help people. You know what I mean? Other stuff like, you know, going into the community and all that stuff. You know, things of that sort will later on maybe turn into business and whatnot. But I don't look at it as that way. I just look at it as helping people just because. You know, I think that's what people should do, just help one another, right? Because some people can't help themselves, right? So, so that's the main thing behind it. So not to view it as a business, but to view it as like a community support group, you know, a platform that, you know, you can go for inspiration and motivation. Yeah.
Right. With that being said, so you said before it was like more comedic type stuff. Now it's like, and then we fast forward after the experience, and you know, you rerouted. So now that you rerouted, what would you say is your like motivations like now, and like what is the overall message of the brand now? Like what is like the, you know, like the core?
My motivation, honestly, is seeing where I came from during that the phase I had in depression, and where I'm at now and how I've gotten better. Like, don't get me wrong. There's some days where I do have like episodes and going back on. You know, in that whole, like, you know, it happens mostly, you know, like, yeah, you can recover from it, but, you know, there's always going to have, like, flashbacks to some things. But the message for the brand really is always to kind of, like, let things out, you know, don't keep things bottled inside for too long. So if you can see my logo here, this is the side of my head, right? And this is a rose, right? So the rose symbolizes your brain. And it means if you keep things bottled inside too much, the rose would eventually die. So you don't want that. You don't want your brain to kind of get to that state where you keep everything inside, keep your emotions bottled inside, and then you hit rock bottom, and you know it's gonna be a tougher journey to come back. So that's what happened to me. I kept everything. You know, I didn't talk about my feelings, and then I just hit rock bottom, and then. You know, it took some work for me to kind of build up my confidence again. So my message to people with this brand is to kind of, it's called Internal Keeper. There's a lot of internal keepers out there. Internal keeper just means keeping your
That's clever. That's good. That's good. That's good.
So, you know, internal keeper just means, you know, someone that keeps their emotions tucked inside. And I'm just, you know, wanting to spread that message to people that, you know, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to be different from others. It's okay that you're going through tough times. It's okay that you're not gonna succeed the first try. It's okay to fail. It's okay to have a detour. So this whole internal keeper movement is to kind of support and spread love to people that may think that they need to be someone else who they're not. So that's good.
It's more, so basically what you're saying is like being your true self and, you know, expressing your emotions, like not bottling things up, but like, you know, letting it free and just really being okay with like, how do I say it? it's okay not to be okay.
Exactly.
And, you know, just like, what you call it? What's the word I'm trying to think of? Like, it's okay to, like, fail, you know? 'cause-
It's okay to fail, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I've failed so many times, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? So that's the overall message of the brand. Like, it's to just be yourself, you know what I mean? Just be yourself. And once you're yourself, anything everything will be okay, you know what I
That's
mean? And you
proper.
find more peace with yourself once you're realize that, like, you know, you're not someone else, you know, it's not always gonna be like that. So yeah.
That's proper, yeah. Like, I feel like, yeah, like, failure is so important. Like, it's just like, because when you fail, like, I don't know, how do I say it? Like, failure is important because I feel like when you fail, you know, it sucks, obviously,
Yeah.
right? But, like, the lesson you learn from it and, like, bouncing back, it just feels better. Like, you just kind of feel like you feel more competent
Exactly.
in yourself when you bounce back. Like, yeah, it sucks in the moment when you fail, but, like, when you bounce back, it's
Yeah.
like, oh shit, like,
Yeah.
can't touch me, you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
I think. So I have a quote. It's called like the slogan of the brand. It's called "Never Lose Hope." I don't know if the people can see it here. Basically says "Never lose hope." So basically, when you fail, right? People fail. People think it's the end of everything, right? But it's not the end of everything. I think where there's a mistake where people think when they fail, it's the end of everything is when you try to do it for other people. I feel if you do it for yourself, if you're doing something for yourself and you fail, you'll be more okay with it because you don't have the pressure from other people. But once you find yourself doing something because of someone else, that's where like failure is like, oh my goodness, it weighs down on you. It can be personal too, like it can be like vice versa where you're doing it for yourself and there's no pressure, but you take it hard on yourself, you know, which is fine. And but at the end of the day, you should never lose hope. You should not be afraid of failure because everyone fails. Like the richest people in the world, the athletes have all failed multiple times. You know what I mean? Yes, we just don't see that because we just see them succeeding, but they did a lot. They went through a lot. Some things that we may not know for them to get there. So it's failure can happen 10 times in a row. That 11th try is the one you make it, right? But you just gotta keep grinding and never losing hope through the process.
That's proper. Failure is a superpower, man.
Yeah, it's a superpower. Yeah, it rejuvenates you. You know what I mean? Every time you fail, like you're one step closer to succeeding because you're doing something, you fail. Okay, you know where you went wrong, right? So you're basically a couple steps ahead, right? Because you know, those. If it's a 5-step plan, and you fail at the second, right? 1 and 2, or the number 1's gonna be easy. Master 2. If you get to 3, you fail. Okay, you restart from 1.
Right.
1, 2 is easy. So it's just you're like getting a step ahead each time. It's easier each time, right? But the process is just longer, but the steps are gonna be easier.
Oh God, that's what's up, man. Let's see, where were we? So I already asked you about. Let's jump into about like the COVID times. So like, my question to you is like, do you think that COVID has had a huge impact on mental health? And do you think it's still prominent in 2023?
100%. I think during the COVID time, a lot of people were suffering from mental health, depression, anxiety, you know, bipolar as well too, you know, different. PTSD as well too. Right? I think the PTSD is more so now, right? Because this has happened. But I think a lot of depression and like also uncertainty, right? Not knowing what the next move is, what the next step is, what the next outcome is, right? So yeah, 2020, 2021, because you know 2021, you know COVID was still around. 2022 as well too. Fast forward to 2023, I still believe, you know, it's kind of hard to tell if it's still prominent, but I still think a lot of people do suffer from like depression that's, you know, that was stemmed from 2020 during the COVID year until this day. Maybe some people are still recovering 3 years later, you know, because a lot of things changed 2020, right? Like things just like happened quick. right? And some people are still recovering from that. So I want to say yes. I don't know the percentage of it and how many people are, recovering from that.
Yeah.
But I still think that it still has an impact today, right? Because
Yeah.
a lot of people are still cautious about some things. Maybe it's payments, or maybe it's just can do with family. Maybe some moves that they did, like moving, to a safer place. A lot of change,
A lot of
right?
changes,
So
yeah.
I think it still has an impact today.
I
Yeah.
feel like in the COVID times, like especially just being like locked up in your house,
Yes.
most of the time, like it's what do you call it? Like it wasn't good for people to like be in their house and not talking to anybody, social media 24/7. Like
Yeah.
definitely people are now more like socially awkward now.
Yeah.
'Cause they don't know how to talk to you.
It's hard, yeah.
You leave your show, you're like,
The anxiety,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember before school, for me personally,
Yeah.
like there was so I was cool with just going to classrooms and
Yeah.
whatnot. Then COVID hit. Okay, we're all online. I got mastered to that.
yeah,
Then going to class and just seeing a lot of people, especially when the class is full, and say example you like go late
Yeah.
or something like that, and you're like looking for a seat, everyone just turns and looks at you, like that aspect as well too, right? So
yeah.
a lot of people are just, for me, that was a moment where I had to kind of adapt to be like, okay, like, who cares if people are looking at you if you come to class later.
Yeah.
But I go to class early, so like
Yeah.
I kind of learned my lesson that way, so but that's just a little situation that where it kind of, for me, I was just like, damn, like times are changing, you know what I mean? Like you can't just, it's not the same as before kind of thing, so yeah.
Definitely, yeah. Like definitely, it's kind of like everybody gotta relearn how to act like.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, and it takes time. A lot of things take time, and eventually, like people will like master it and kind of be okay with it. But like, there's no definite timeline or like timeline where you have to kind of be okay. Just go on your own pace.
On your own pace type thing.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's see where we at so far. So we talked about the logo so far. Let's jump into. Let's see what I got here. Okay, let's jump into more about. So like once you started like, obviously probably when you started rerouting the brand and everything, you started talking about more like serious topics and stuff like that. Did you find like the reaction, the overall reaction around like your peers and people, like were they kind of like, was it like mostly support, or did you find people were like, because whenever you start something, people are gonna kind of, how do I say, like, oh, what do you, like, because everybody nowadays, we're all kind of just like stuck in our own like world, like we're not really like everybody's kind of doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
But like when someone kind of steps out and does something different, we're like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah. It's crazy, you remember what we talked about the other day at school?
Yeah.
We won't mention it here,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there was that was one situation.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, I didn't want to be like everyone else.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't want to be with like anyone else. I think the outcome when I did launch my brand, like the video, you can find on my Instagram, like the first video I've ever posted was like the introduction to my brand. I had like a lot of support. You know what I mean? Support like from people that I haven't talked to in like a long time, new people, professional athletes as well too. So the outcome was crazy. It was big, right? Because you don't expect someone to launch a brand or do a movement like I did.
Yeah.
Right? Usually it's just like clothing brand, makeup,
Yeah.
hair, whatever. And I have no problem with that. Like that's,
Yeah.
good for you, kudos for you and all that stuff. But you don't expect someone to come out with, I don't think people expected me to come out with like a brand like that. You know what I mean? Like people knew that I was, had like the guy that brought energy to my football team, Once, I get into a room, like, I kind of like brighten the mood with how I am, my presence, but never did people think that. So I think that also helped as well too. But the support was big, like I said, when I dropped my first, like the t-shirts, it just went crazy. Like it was just minute after minute, just, just buying. I think I almost sold out, honestly. I was close to selling out. Yeah, I had a lot of shirts. Like I was close to like selling out. You know what I mean? So it was like people from like back in Montreal, people from the I think a couple people from the States as well too. A couple people from mostly Edmonton as well too, Calgary, BC. Like so it was like a lot. Like it was everywhere.
Damn.
So it was big.
That was international.
It was big, international. You know what I mean? It was
That's
big.
huge.
So yeah. So it was. I'm really happy to have launched the brand. You know what I mean? When it comes to like people like not supporting, you're always gonna have that.
Yeah.
I haven't encountered that at all. Like from when I first, maybe once or twice, but just people sharing their opinion on, oh, you should do this, you should you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no, like I'm not. Like I said, it's not a business. You know, if people look at it as a business, then just shift your mindset. It's not a business.
Yeah.
It's a movement. It's a support group. It's a community. Like I'm just doing this because I love to help people. I love to be positive. So that's basically the core of it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because I feel like when you look at it from like a business lens, it's like, because for what you're doing, when you look at it like a business lens, I don't want to say. Well, it kind of becomes less ingenuous.
Yes.
I don't want to. I don't know.
No,
Like
but it's true. Especially in a brand like this, mental health. Like you look at like it's just like you said it. Like it doesn't look genuine, right? Because it just looks like you're just doing it for like money or something like that.
Yeah.
That's not me at all. Like I just don't do it. If anything, I just try to better the brand. You know what I mean? But other than that, like, nah.
Yeah.
I want to get more into the community, more to the people. That's what I want to do, right? Like, so, yeah, no. Don't look at it as a business. It's not a business.
It's a movement.
Yeah, because there's a point where I was just like, damn, like, maybe like some sales were not going great.
Yeah.
It just stressed me out, man. And then it made me forget why I started.
Yeah.
I didn't start this because of money. I never had my plan was never ever to release like clothes. Ever. Nah, that was not but someone came up with the idea and said, oh, would you do this? I thought of it. And I was like, yeah, why not?
Yeah,
you know
why
what
not?
I mean? But that was never so. Now that, I remember that, like, I didn't start this because I wanted to sell clothes or anything like that. Kind of like I put that in the back burner. I still do it, but now it just made everything much easier. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
That's proper. That's proper still. Yeah, like definitely. Because I know there's like other like people like around the world who maybe do something like similar.
Yeah.
Like in the self-help world, like they'll try to like do like, how do I say it? Like they'll kind of touch on mental health. They talk about like self-improvement type stuff. But it's like, and they have more of like a business model. Like I don't want to like discredit anyone who has a business model for it. Like, cause like there's this thing where it's like I'm sure they like care.
Yeah.
But it's like, I get you want to make your money.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? Like
I get what you mean.
it's hard to put into words, but it's like
no, like it's everyone just has the different mindset, passion, and why they do it.
Yeah.
For me, like it's not like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not that.
It's like totally not about money at all.
Not zero.
Yeah.
Zero. You know what I mean? Like if anything, like I'm always like in the community. I'm always donating, and like I don't publicize that. I'm donating to this place, whatever like that. But I do like go out there and donate and do that and do stuff like that.
Because like because we've known each other for like a semester or so doing stats.
Yeah,
Stats.
stats.
And like you've never like I didn't even know like like anything about any like you never like because a lot of people would like when they have stuff like they'll be like bro I'm doing this make sure you follow my but I've never you're just chill guy I never like expected it when I saw it I was like oh shit like I never expected this.
I think like it depends. Like say if we're talking about something and whatnot, I might like slip it in there or whatnot. But usually it's one of those things where, man, like if you want to find it, you'll find it. You know, I may like say if you say, oh, like what's your Instagram? I'll let you go find it on your own. Find it on your own. Like if you're going through, and you're like, oh damn, and some people that I've talked to for the longest time.
Yeah.
I think it just makes it much more special.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not in there for the likes, the follows, and whatnot. Like
Mhm.
it'd be nice to kind of have like that big support, whatever.
Yeah.
Which sometimes if I'm talking something or with someone new,
Yeah.
I may throw it in there and whatnot, but
Mhm.
you'll never see me kind of be like, yo, man, you go follow that. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like I said, with not like, adding more people to my brand, like it's one of those things where if it's in your heart and you really want to support and kind of that's what I mean, you'll do it,
You'll
right?
do it,
But I'll never go fishing out for likes
For
because
likes and shit.
nah.
Kind of, it's like that rapper that's like, hey, here's my mixtape. Yo, watch my mixtape.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, but for me, like, yeah, it's not like that. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm walking, someone asks me like, oh, what's this? Like, one day I was at the mall, and someone saw my shirt. I had a project. It's called What's Your Outlet. So you can go find my Instagram as well too. But What's Your Outlet? I had, I think it was 4 or 5 people on it. So basically what your outlet is, because for me, when I had my depression, my outlet was football, going to play football. So I was just like, yo, let me make a project with different people. I had someone cook. I had someone who was who is a pro athlete for football. I had someone who did lashes, and one guy that loved playing basketball. So I kind of like did a project around that. It's a video that shows them what they're doing, and then at the end they're saying, this is my outlet, and they continue doing it. Someone's cooking, this is my, so I'll share the video as well too. So I had a shirt, so there was a quote on it regarding the project, and the guy just stopped me. He's like, hey, can you just wait for a minute? And I was just like, oh, he's like, I'm just trying to read your shirt, and he found it, so I think also just, if someone asks me, seeing like if I'm wearing a merch or anything, like, or a piece of merch, and they see like, oh damn, like what is this? Then I'll explain it. You know what I mean? So even with my wristbands, I was helping someone at work, and then he's like, oh, what was that? And then he's like, then I explained it. So I try to keep it on me, right?
Right.
If people see it and they kind of want to click with it, then so.
It's kind of letting people like pick and choose whether or not they want to rock with you or not.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's how you know if they're like real followers.
Exactly.
Because if you're kind of forcing it, it's like you kind of force them into the movement. But if they just see it, you want it to organically happen.
Exactly, organically happen. So.
Yeah. Let's see, where else are we? How would we do for time? Let's see, we are, what, 32 minutes? Okay, we can go for a little bit.
Yeah, we're good, yeah.
Let's see. We talked about the logo. We talked about, let's see. Where do I want to take this? Let's jump more into like, okay, so one of the other questions I had too is like, because I know it's what's it called? Clothing brand second, right?
Yeah.
But I was genuinely curious on like the process of like making clothing and like the ins and outs of that. Like, so do you have like a, how do I say it? Like, how does it work really? Like, is there like a company you buy the clothing? And
I won't go too much into detail on like
Okay.
the behind the scenes, but like I do have someone that I go to, and I do the clothing. I do the designing on my own, kind of sketches and everything. But yeah, so like every time I drop, I let people know in advance, hey, I'm dropping this. So I just dropped, I think it was November 26th, or before that, I dropped hoodies and crew necks. Dropped out, let the people know. So yeah, so I do a lot of my things in advance. So I do my thing, send it to my guy, kind of talk about it, kind of tips and ideas back and forth, what we can do. And then once that's done, I upload it on my website. I also have a website, Internal Keeper, so internalkeeper.com, and then everything is there. Like it's just a website of like the about, the clothing and other things in there. So it takes a lot of brainstorming. Like I said, I probably won't drop anything for a long time. Just working more on the connection with people.
Okay.
But yeah, if people want to go purchase some things, it's on the website already. It's just there as well too. If I'm wearing I design stuff and I wear it myself, right? And I just rock it and I wear it, because it's something that I love. You know what I mean? Like the brand I love. So if I wear it and show that I love it, maybe other people will kind of see the love for it too, and then kind of build out like that hype and like demand over it. So then
Yeah.
after then I'll just be like, okay, like I'll just release it kind of thing. So, but yeah, so I just kind of go to my guy, we do that, and yeah, that's basically how we do it.
Do all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Another question I wanted to ask was, let's jump into, let's see. Yeah, let's jump into about like, I want to dive deeper more about mental health. I want to talk about, so what do you think are like ways that people can like improve their mental health? Like what kind of, like what do you think is like, do you think like mental health, like there's things you can do to improve it, or what are your thoughts about that?
I think I might have 2 or 3 points on this. Number one is finding what you love.
Okay.
So, for example, for me, right, when I talked about the What's Your Outlet project, football is something I love doing, right? So every time, you know, I'm at home or whatnot before practice, you know, like that's when I'm like into like that depressive state. But once I drive to football and once I'm at football, like all my problems just leave. I'm just focusing on football because I'm doing what I love to do. So I think finding what you love to do, number one. Taking time for yourself. Number two, taking time for yourself. Don't feel the need that you need to always go out or kind of don't feel pressured as well too. You know what I mean? Stay true to yourself. You know what I mean? And relax. You know, like for me, I'm a homebody, right?
Yeah.
If I'm having a chill, like a day where I'm just like I just want to chill, I'm gonna go get food, whether get food or cook. Put on like TV or show or not, just relax. Like just time for yourself, you know what I mean? Be more at peace, right? Don't feel like obligated to, oh, I have to step up. People need to see me. Oh, I gotta do this, you know? Like, you don't put that pressure on yourself, you know what I mean? Just like, if you need a day to yourself or 2 or whatnot, take it, you know? And the third one, just, it will come naturally. You know what I mean? Like when you're like battling mental health, you know, I firmly believe like it also starts with you within and how, you know, are you willing to get better? You know what I mean? So are you willing to get better? Sometimes it's hard, right? Sometimes you may be in a mental state where you can't help yourself and you need other people and to help you, which is fine. I think for me, when I was depressed, I was still capable of helping myself.
Yeah.
So I know it from that aspect. I don't know it from the aspect of where like uncontrollable, like you need other people to kind of like, or medication, all that stuff, you know what I mean? But I know it from a point where I'm able to control it and kind of help myself.
Right.
So I think those kind of 3, like, you know, finding what you love, staying true to yourself, and be willing to help yourself as well too. Yeah. If you're capable, if you're in that state. Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like being able to, I think that third one is a big one, because at the end of the day, like, I was watching this one video by this guy. I don't know if you know him. His name, I watch him a lot. His name is Patrick Ben David.
Okay.
Really influential guy. Like this guy, like I always watch him valuetainment. Like if you see my YouTube recommendations, valuetainment.
Yeah.
But I saw I watched like his old videos, and he had this video of like good voice, bad voice.
Yeah.
And it was basically him driving to work, and it was this negative voice that's saying all this stuff to him, and there's the good voice saying positive stuff.
Yeah.
And then and it was pretty lit, because it was like he was talking about how like that bad voice, it's like never gonna go away, but you have the choice of what voice you're listening to.
Exactly. And I think that's where a lot of people get into like listen to other people's opinions, which I have too, like, you know, you know what I mean? But you can either choose to always listen to that or put a stop to it and revert and remember why you do it. And for me, someone can say, well, when we talked about at school, someone was saying, do this, da, da, but like, if I listen to that, you know what I mean? Like, I will not keep on doing this, you know what I mean? It's an imposter syndrome, you know what I mean? So it takes time, it's hard to kind of, because we can have like 10 people saying, "Oh, I love this,"
Yeah.
but that one
One
person
person.
will always affect you.
Yeah.
So you just gotta have to, kind of like, master it a little bit and
Yeah.
kind of, it's gonna take some time, but eventually you're gonna have to like put a stop. It's gonna happen gradually too.
Yeah.
So
I feel like too is that like positive like self-talk, like how you like talk to yourself, like being conscious of like, okay, like what are the things I'm saying to myself, like really like catching it when you start like, because it's weird. It's one of those things where it's like that negative voice.
yeah.
It's not. How do I say it? Like, you know how in psych we learn about like the ego is.
Yes.
It's like in the like like it's below the iceberg. Like it's like
Yes.
it's not a clear like. It's like a telepathic message where it's
Yes.
like you're telling yourself you're not good enough, da da da. But sometimes I feel like once you become like self-aware, you can like catch it and be like, nah, that
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
And it takes time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think everyone has that, and I think everyone's able to kind of catch that right before it comes into effect. But like you have to. It takes time. Like it doesn't just happen overnight or right away. But it's something good because once you catch it, then you're able to switch to shift your mindset, and then once you encounter that another time, you're not delaying the process of switching it. It's like it happens in a split second. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, oh, just a little notification.
Yeah.
Definitely about like catching those like negative habits.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's see where we're at here. Yeah. With that being said, we'll probably close this up in a little bit here.
Yeah.
Last couple questions. Well, you kind of answered one of the other questions I was gonna ask. I was gonna say like, what advice would you have for someone with like who's struggling with depression or anxiety? They're just not feeling. They're just going through a rough season in life. Like, what advice would you give?
Just know, number one, like my slogan says, never lose hope. You know what I mean? Never lose hope through the process. Number two, it's okay to be in the state that you're in because it happens. It's not a perfect life. You're not gonna always live a perfect life.
Yeah.
Number three, remember why you're here. If you're starting something, remember why you started. Number four, find something you love doing. Number five, if you need to take time to yourself, take time to yourself, love yourself. So those are the five, points I can give. Never lose hope. Find what you love. Remember why you started. If you need to take time for yourself, take it. And number five is, like stay true to yourself kind of thing, So that's the advice I had, like for me, I had people in my corner a lot, I think I, pushed them away too much,
Oh.
Yeah, I pushed a lot of people away just because, I just thought they didn't know what I was going through,
Okay.
which me and some people didn't know, you know what I mean? Thought it was just kind of a phase, but, but it was also on me because I kept everything bottled inside, right? And I didn't kind of express that. So that's the advice I would give is just kind of the top two would be to never lose hope and to, take time for yourself as well to, rejuvenate and, stay true to yourself, yeah.
That also, there's another question I had. Where do you see like the brand for 2023 and onwards? Like, what are like, I don't know if you want to give too much detail, but like share like, what are your like future plans? What are your hopes for the brand? Like, what are your kind of like forward?
I think to definitely grow more in the community, whether that's Edmonton, also like provincial wide, eventually, hopefully, in the country as well too. I just number one, I don't want people to view me as a clothing brand, you know what I mean? But just to view me, to view the brand as like a support group, a community, somewhere where you can come back when you're not feeling yourself and you just need a little bit more motivation for that day or that time. Where I see myself, 2023 is just, greater heights than where I was 2022. You know what I mean? Just like I said, more in the community, more, helping people, keep on giving back to the community as well too. So that's where I kind of see myself as well too. And then, maybe more clothing as well too. We'll see how it goes, but definitely to kind of grow as a brand and kind of be more known out there to
More
let
known
people know that like there is a group for you, or not a group, but a brand, a platform for you to, you know, where you feel safe and where you automatically feel loved. So yeah, genuine love, not fake love, but genuine love. Exactly.
That's definitely like, cause I like, this is like the most like genuine like brand I've kind of, I'm not gonna lie, like heard of, like, cause like a lot of other brands, not to discredit other brands, but like they're, how do I say, like they have a little bit more like focus on like the profit, like business. It's basically it sounds like a business.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I mean? But for when I'm talking, when I'm hearing you talk, it sounds like you genuinely just want like, they're like your purpose for spreading the word of the brand is more about spreading the message rather than getting reach for like a business.
Exactly, yeah. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. And like, I would say that now, say that tomorrow. I would say keep on saying that. You know what I mean? It's never about. I don't want it to be a business, right? Because I don't want to. It's not about that. You know, it's not about the money or nothing like that. It's just about helping people. You know what I mean? And being there. So that's what it's about.
100%,
sir. Yes, sir.
In closing, where can the people find you? Like Instagram, like kind of like, give them your socials, promote yourself.
Okay, so you can find Internal Keeper on Instagram. So it's internal.keeper. Well, follow, like, save, screenshot any message that you like, any quote. You can also go on the Reels to see past messages that I've posted. You can go on my website, which will be the link in my bio on my Instagram, but it's Internal Keeper at internalkeeper.com. You can find t-shirts, you can find hoodies on there too. You can also follow my personal page, survive_xcix. So you can find me there. You can also find me on Facebook as well too. Internal.
So you use Facebook?
Yeah. I mean, like, it's there. But I don't use it like that, you know what I mean? But if you're, you know, maybe some old heads that have, you know, Facebook, you can go follow on Facebook as well too. So, but mainly I run all my stuff on Instagram. So yeah, like I said, internal.keeper, and my website is internalkeeper.com, and my personal page is survive_xcix. Go have fun there and go buy, go like, go follow, go everything you want. If you ever want to message me or anything like that, questions, advice, just hit me up. I'm always gonna answer my DMs for sure.
100%.
I think that's what separates me too, like from other places too. Like I actually want to connect with the people. Yeah. So I'll actually respond back. So yeah.
Definitely. All that stuff is gonna be linked down below. I'm gonna add all that stuff. That being said, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you're new, subscribe. If you're not subscribed yet, bro, you lost the plot. I'm sorry, but if you're not subscribed, you lost. How are you watching this? Are you ready to? Anyways, I'm just gonna close it out. Yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next podcast. Hey, like, make sure you hit that like button. It's not that hard. And hit that subscribe. Anyways, deuces.
Peace.